What's up, everybody? Sorry it took so long to get here. I tried using my BOL program to do this live stream, but it just was not cooperating with me. So this is going to be a semi-quick live stream, but certainly worth it. Kansas right now, you guys are getting slammed. We're watching our live lightning chart right now, right over Kansas. There have been multiple tornado warnings and watches. Most, if not all, expired. If you look down in this area, this last one in Texas was yesterday. So from about 9 hours going up, this is all Kansas. This is all happening in the last 9 hours with at least one of these being confirmed as a touchdown. And that would be this one right here. So let's just check this out real quick, see where it was. At 3:40 p.m. Mountain Time, a confirmed tornado was located 15 miles north of Wallace or 15 miles south of Goodland. All right, so if you're in that area, I'm sure that has come and gone already, being that it's expired. But what I want to show you here is on this radar. This is a little bit zoomed in. This would be, actually, let me backtrack here. This would be the far zoom. So you can see Kansas right in this area here. And then we're going to be moving into Iowa, Missouri, and then straight up across. By the time it gets to this point under the Great Lakes, I feel like it's going to be cool enough to where the tornado situation might be done. But you definitely want to be on your toes at this moment. When you see those dark black colors, we look for those a lot in hurricanes, and especially very big cell storms. And those are the ones that are producing the hail and the high winds and then the spin-off tornadoes. So this is a specific to Kansas. So let me just check out what some of you were saying now. It's no wonder Kansas is in chaos. Yes, no, I completely agree with that. This is a big cell, guys. That's why I had to zoom in on this right here. And if we back up, this all happened within an 8-hour period. If I back up to about 21:16 UTC time, we can see this thing begins right at the border of Kansas, and then it's just like a water hose just exploding right over the state. Right there was about when we had all those tornado warnings and watches, and then eventually that one that hit ground, possibly two. That was just a refresh on the screen, so we got another frame. Frame 200 is still showing those dark colors in Kansas, now moving into the east as we expected. So it would not surprise me to see tornadoes up in this area. We got those flare-outs up here. That usually leads to a counterclockwise spin. And I mentioned in other videos that when you start seeing those low pressure systems on the tropical tidbits charts, I don't have that up right now. The letter L meaning low pressure system. We were talking about this during that tornado. Basically, it was 2 weeks of tornadoes that we were doing. Good morning to you too. Thank you for being here. Salvis, what's up, buddy? Wow is right. Yeah, this cell is covering 3, maybe 4 states right now. Like I said, this thing should die off and be a little weaker by the time it makes it up to this area. But the fact that we're seeing this right now over Kansas, I'm surprised people from Kansas can even jump on to see this right now. I did check the power outage chart. There are multiple counties with power outages straight through. So it's basically a wait and see game at this point. I mean, here, let's backtrack on this one too and get a good look at what happened over the entire country in the past 18 to 24 hours. So this was our cold winter storm Xyler that finally crossed the Great Lakes. Now it's up into the Vermont, New Hampshire, New York area. There is snow falling in upstate New York. We had a small dusting in northeast Pennsylvania. Very cold outside right now. But so here we go. So we have the system up here near Canada. Obviously, we're going to get some snow on the back end of this coming later on this week. But what I want you to focus on once again is just above Oklahoma into this area in Kansas here. So like I said, it took 8 hours from start to finish, from right here to the last frame. That thing just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I don't know about you, but that thing is getting bigger as it keeps going. So I can't predict whether or not it's going to affect areas in here. It's certainly going to affect the wind and rain. But being that the Tornado HQ website has been focusing more on Kansas as far as the last 9 reports. That shows me that that is the area to watch as of right now. So you can see here they are all expired, which is a good thing, but that does not mean there's more to come. Now, this is going to be a common thing, guys. We've been talking about this. These waves are coming one after another after another. They are actually talking now about back in April of 2011, that tornado season we had, which was one of the worst in history. I don't know why they're comparing it to that right now. I mean, as we are moving into May, that is like the peak season. But if you guys remember, it was between April 27th and 29th of 2011 that we had those severe tornadoes ripping through this area. So I felt it was necessary to at least bring this topic up to you guys before I call it a night. But yeah, I'm keeping a close eye on this cell right here, because whenever you see these dark colors, guys, that is just not good. Anyone living in this area right now is certainly, if they have power at all, looking out their windows, hopefully taking pictures, doing whatever they can, or taking shelter for that matter. Because like I said, this HQ tornado site, it is technically a beta site, but I said in the last video that they've been very accurate lately as far as the touchdowns and the possibility of touchdowns. If you read some of these, they say severe thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes. So it does not mean necessarily that there will be tornadoes in that area. It just means that this is an overall watch zone. So I think I pulled up a few other things. Yeah, we looked at this lightning chart. I mean, just look at this, guys. Each one of these things you see is a lightning bolt. So there is a massive amount of energy over Kansas right now, and it's starting to flow over Missouri, and now it's going to start getting into the Illinois area and then underneath the Great Lakes. And that's when I believe it's going to cool down, at least to a rain situation. And then again, like I said, the upstate New York areas, anything to the west of the lakes here by Buffalo and Watertown. Keep an eye on your weather for the next couple days. That's all I got to say. Now, the way this began was this chart came out. This was yesterday. So they did have a pretty solid idea about where this thing was going to go. You could see the orange here. That represents basically a warning, or not a warning, a watch for severe weather. And then you got the reds here now, basically in the exact spot where we're seeing them. So kudos to them for being dead on about where this was going to take place. So let's see what else we got here. And this is the current one. So there we go. That's what I want to show you guys. So it went from this on the 28th to this by the 30th. So this is what they're predicting as far as tomorrow. So it does look like it's starting to reach up into Iowa. And then we got Illinois down there, and then Wisconsin. So we got to keep in mind the Great Lakes are pretty cool right now. So even though you see the red sticking up there, that does not mean you're going to get tornadoes. It means that the possibility is there. So I can't stress that enough. That's a very important thing to understand, especially with these charts. These are semi-new charts. They do offer a lot of data. All these blues have meanings, everything like that. And I will get into that over time and explain that to you guys. But the main portion here is what we need to look at is right in Kansas. And then after looking at this, we need to focus on the states following that. So what else did I have here for you? I knew there was something I had to talk to you guys about. And now it's bothering me because I can't find it. I want to go, actually, it's kind of freaky. True Helper, what's up, buddy? We got 38 in now, so we should be good. In fact, this isn't going to be a long live stream. I wanted to get this out because of the situation going on in Kansas. If I draw it on too long, then this is going to come and go, and the point would be basically pointless at that. My main concern is keeping an eye on this area here, so I keep hitting refresh, and we're still good. So it's still expired. But just looking at the density of this moisture here, I can't not say that I'm going to hit refresh on this button at one point, more than likely after I end the live stream, and it's going to show more tornadoes. So, I mean, that's just the luck of the draw at that point. But we'll take one more look at this real quick. And then I'm going to cut this one short. It's already 2:45. I got to start getting ready. But it's just it's very interesting to see how you get this weather moving in from the west, and then as it hits just that warm, the second it touches warm air, boom, it's like an explosion. And we can even see it above Kansas here. We can see two separate things here, and then they morph together. So boom, right there. And then, like I said, those blacks, you do not want to see that. That is where it's just like, lightning, thunder, wind. You don't know if there's a tornado outside or not. It's not fun weather. Not fun weather at all. And I can't go much further as far as this chart goes. This is an up-to-date chart. I would pull up Tropical Tidbits right now, but for some reason they're having issues with their updating their current stats. The only thing I'm able to read is what they posted yesterday, so it's almost outdated at this point. That's the thing with weather, guys. If you don't get stuff out right away, within a 4 or 5 hour period, it just completely changes, and it's almost pointless to put the video out. So the live stream thing, I'm trying to get down to a science so I can get on here quick and just talk with you guys, as opposed to spending an hour making a video and then having it post and then being, the video's an hour late. So when you're dealing with weather, hours matter, minutes matter even. So this live stream stuff is really gonna help the channel a lot. In fact, I mean, I'm a humble guy. I would even ask anyone in the chat or any of my subs that if they have any sort of experience with this live streaming stuff. I do have a program. The issue I'm having is the bit rate and the delay. I've got it down to 10 seconds. At one point, it was at 30, so I messed with the settings. I got it down to about 10 seconds, which is acceptable. I can deal with doing a live stream with a 10-second delay and, check the comments here and there, take a little break, read through them, see what you guys have to say. And, we're going to go from there. We're going to learn and we're going to get this down. And then before you know it, we're going to be live streaming all the time and having conversations and really figuring this stuff out and learning more and more each day. So, Allentown, what's up, buddy? Very close. Very, very close. Here, actually, let me touch this right here so I can get the chat to pull up. Actually, you know what? Someone type something, because I'm pressing the screen and the chat's not popping up for some reason. There we go. Thank you. Oh, don't want to remove. Let's scroll down a little bit. There's my boy Salvis. What's up, buddy? Tsunami? No, there are no tsunamis active right now. I'm going to explain that. Now, the buoys going off down by Puerto Rico is very confusing to me because 2 days in a row now, these things have gone off and no explanation given except for the details that they give you on the buoy itself. It shows the clear dips in the water when they happened, but no explanation of why they happened. The only thing I saw was yesterday. It was a 3.7 earthquake right off the coast of, I believe, Puerto Rico, probably about 100 miles, 75 miles off the coast of Puerto Rico. That was the closest earthquake to that specific buoy. So whether this is a buoy that's malfunctioning or not, I don't know. I feel like if it went off yesterday and it was a good 18 hours before I came back on here to check it again and a second event happened, I feel like within an 18-hour period, the owners, like some of these buoys are individually owned by different companies all over the country, all over the world. You would think that if they knew it was a malfunction, that they would be all over it, or at least take down the blinking light to keep people from, being scared that there's a buoy going off near Florida. So I got a lot of comments and emails from Florida saying, what's going on? Is there a tsunami? And I have to say no, because if there was a tsunami, we would have seen it already. So something is causing this buoy to go off, and it's happened twice already in a 24-hour period. So I'm definitely going to continue to look into that. There's no doubt about it. Here, I'll give you guys something to look at while we're talking. I got to get used to keeping you guys, interested, That's the point here. And me sitting here holding my phone is not helping, I'm sure. Oh, we got more. Let me check down here. Sorry, guys. Hi, Brian, the Legion Dragon Slayer build. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. BC Dream, how are you? Gareth Jones, yes, very weird. Yeah, the 10-second thing, BC Dream. I'm still trying to figure that out. In fact, I got a guy helping me, Bruce Sees All. He's a very good moon watcher. He does the telescope work and stuff like that. And I've been having conversations with him about bit rate, and it is it's a complicated thing, especially when you're putting video into a program and then rendering it to then post on YouTube. No matter what you do, you're losing quality. So my raw videos come out great. Like, they're crystal clear. It's a great camera. Very high megabyte rate, which is hard because then it makes it harder to upload to YouTube. Takes much longer, but the quality's there. So what I tried doing is I tried going on Wondershare, which is the editing program I use, and I tried to match the bit rate, the frame rate, everything exactly to the original file. And no matter what you do, once you export that file, it comes out much less quality than what you put in, no matter what settings you put in. I even overdid the bit rate just to see if that would help, and that just made it more choppy. So it does get frustrating, but I'm going to figure it out. There's no doubt about that. That is my goal, and that's what's going to happen. Did Windy show waves at the buoy? Good question. Yes, there were waves at the buoy, but the waves weren't any bigger than they are almost on a daily basis. Someone mentioned a rogue wave. That is very possible. But then again, after today, seeing it happen again, is that a second rogue wave? I mean, could it be the same rogue wave bouncing this thing up and down and resetting it? I mean, for all I know, the second set off could have been the company that owns that buoy fixing it, and it triggered it. But in my opinion, if they have a buoy that's not working correctly, they should just shut it down, make it red, make the fix, and then set it back up, because that is a very important buoy. That's one of two buoys that will warn Florida before something bad happens, if it does happen. So I want to make that clear. I'm not saying there is a tsunami coming towards Florida in any way, shape, or form. I'm just showing that the buoy that detects these tsunamis went off, and it's the closest one to Florida. So that's definitely worth talking about. Cobweb, how are you? Good to see you, as always. The lovely Flame is Type X. She's here. Where is she? There she is. Hello, love. So much for sleeping. Watch out for the wrench, guys. It's made of steel now. Blue steel. It hurts. Let's see this here. All right, yeah. Kansas City's getting lit right now. I mean, think about this. Think about being in Kansas City right now and looking up in the sky and seeing what we're seeing right now. I mean, forget these areas over here for now. Just look at Kansas and look at that strip going up into Iowa. You can't even see the states. That's how many lightning strikes are going on right now. And if you scroll down a little bit, it kind of gives you a little bit of stats. We're over 5,796, I believe, within the hour. Oof. Holy cow, that storm flared up quick. Yeah, 8 hours, maybe not even. In fact, here, I'll show you again. We'll do the wide view first, which is already playing. Let me stop that. I'll back up right here because this is when it starts. So take a look at the time. April 28th, 1921 UTC time. So let's count the hours. So we're at 19 right now. Right when this thing starts to blow up, here we go. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. And then this thing's the size of 3 states. So very quickly forming storm, and it looks like it's getting bigger as it's moving to the east. So man, Man, oh man. There we go. That's a little bit better lighting. And for those of you that want to criticize my sideways phone right now, you go right ahead. Because I learn on my own. I teach myself stuff, and we're going to get this down to a science soon. What is this up here? Oh, yeah, and by the way, guys, you know what? Let me pull up Tropical Tidbits real quick. Why not? Because it's important to see what's coming. And then I'm going to cut this short, only because it's late. I've already put out a video. I'm extremely exhausted. I've been watching a lot of these charts today because I knew Kansas was going to get something today. These charts, you know what? It's hard because the COD chart is very detailed, and then when you get to Tropical Tidbits, they're more of like a broad range. So what we're going to do here is we already know what's happening in Kansas, so we're going to pass forward through Kansas. We're going to pretend that everybody's okay after this. And then look at this, guys. This is the back end snow I'm talking about that's coming April 30th. So April 30th, the Northwest is going to see snow. Rockies, yes, it's common to see snow in the Rockies now. But how far east is this snow going to come? That's the question. That's all going to depend on the jet stream. Now, this is also a good thing because of the El Nino situation. When we get those high dips in the jet stream, that will keep that weather from getting over here. In fact, it'll probably roll down this way, and as it hits the warmer air, it's going to dissipate and not become snow. But if we have an uplift in the jet stream, that's a different story. And this would be May 3rd. All right, so May 3rd, it looks like we could be getting rain. We have a birthday coming up May 3rd. And I'm just going to say it. It's Caroline's birthday, May 3rd. So everyone say happy birthday to Caroline in a couple days, or now, or after, or forever. Ooh, look at that in Texas. Okay, May 4th, Texas. We're going to be talking about that. Curious. What are you curious about? Boom. Okay, we got some more frames to look at. Not much changing here. In fact, this area is concerning me here too, right on the border here. Indeed, and you can still see those flares sticking up there too. And also down here. But you see the blue there? A little more chilly down there. This is the area to watch for right now, at least for the next couple hours, definitely. The Lego Dragon, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Oh, and I just missed it too. CLG, thank you so much for stopping by. I very much appreciate it. Cedar Entertainment, thank you so much. That means the world to us. Very, very much appreciated, my friend. No, we don't want this weather anywhere. In fact, where do you live? Does it look like it's heading towards you? Kentucky. Kentucky, Tennessee. You know what? This might just go right over you. You may see some rain, but the heart of this thing, I really think might just pass right over you. I'm going to say Iowa, and then into Illinois is going to be the next place to watch for sure. And Missouri, of course. Yeah, this thing's going to move right into that area. There's no doubt about it. The entire country is saturated. We are saturated. And that's why I found it funny that we were looking at the temperatures from yesterday, and it was 100 degrees down by Southern California, and then 33 degrees in Chicago. Everything does go to the Northeast. Nor'easters. Gotta love it. But, I mean, we have to admit, guys, it is a lot better than what we experienced last March. If you guys remember, we had 4 nor'easters in 4 weeks in the month of March. Major nor'easters, like snow piled up to the middle of your door. Snowblower City. All right, so I was waiting for one of these frames to pop up, but it might take a little bit. So, all right, so this is what we wanted to talk about, guys. Sorry about me being all over the place with this stream here, but like I said, we're working it out. I have a new program I'm going to use for these live streams, so I don't have to hold my phone. I'm going to be able to switch to different screens and all this cool technology, just like all those other big YouTubers out there. We're going to be one of those. Crazy weather. Yes, it is. Very crazy weather. How do I get the chat to pop up? That is just really annoying me. See, because the chats pop up and then they fade away. And I remember when I was doing that live stream outside when we had that tornado situation, I was able just to tap part of the screen. Wow, it just happened. I disagree. Last year's storms didn't wipe out our breadbasket. Well, I'm talking more about the nor'easters that were up in the Northeast. We had 4 of them back to back to back in the month of March. It actually broke a record, most nor'easters in a single month. And that was last winter. So, but we've already surpassed March. We're in late April going into May. But we're still seeing snow. 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 Ooh, color change. There we go. 26. We'll take it to 27. Oh yeah, Austin. We're getting snow in the western part of the Midwest. And I'm going to show you that. Actually, no, I have Tropical Tidbits up right now. Here we go. Check it out. So we backtrack to right now. Like I said, this is what Kansas is dealing with right now. Right here, you can see that. So that's what they're showing on Tropical Tidbits compared to this. But as we move forward into the 30th, right there, boom, that's all snow here. And depending on the dips or lifts in the jet stream, this could make it cross that threshold. We call this ground zero because of the systems that come from the west or come from down under through the Baja. They meet right here, and then they just go whoop, and they swirl right around here, all over the top of my house and all over us in New York and Pennsylvania, West Virginia. We get the worst of it up here for the most part. And then hurricane season, it's always down in this area. So, and I'm not making predictions for hurricane season, but there's just something about the atmospheric conditions that are leading me to believe that the East Coast, not so much the East Coast of Florida, but the East Coast as a whole. I don't know if it's a gut feeling or if I'm looking into it because I want to see it. I don't know, but I just have this feeling that the East Coast is going to have some close calls this year. Now, don't quote me on it. I don't want it to happen. I don't want to see any of these hit land. To watch them come up and then swoop away, that would be great because then we have a lot to talk about. We could watch them form. That's the fun part of it. When they start hitting land and when we deal with situations like Houston and then Irma and Maria, that's what we don't want to see. That's horrible stuff. That's not why we're here on this channel at all. And guys, thank you so much for those donations. That's very, 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 very much appreciated. I couldn't begin to tell you what that means to us, guys. And no, I will never ask. Never. All right. One more thing here, and then I'm really going to let you go. I just want to refresh this tornado site. Make sure Kansas is at least out of the woods for now. And you can see right here, we are still expired as of 5 hours ago. But we still see this. So I don't know. We still have time. I mean, it is the overnight hours. We just got to wait and see what happens, guys. That's basically all we can do at this point. And this site doesn't want to reload, but it's certainly showing lightning. How about the refresh button? There we go. Oh, man. They're getting slammed. And then can you guys believe we had a winter storm up here just 24 hours ago? And now we're just seeing basically the sun landing on top of the middle of the country. I wish I could, actually, I can scroll down here and look at the Caribbean down here by Cuba. They're not having fun either. So much going on, guys. So much going on. It's impossible to put in one video unless you want to make 5 and 6 videos a day. So I try to, it's almost like that. Remember Cliff's Notes back in the day in high school? For those of you that are in the same generation as me, Cliff Notes got me through high school. That and sports. Signs of the times, absolutely. All right, where's Caroline? Where'd she go? All right, she's around 2:58 night. Okay, she took off. It's time for me to be heading back that way anyway. Birth pains. Yo, you're right, man. You are absolutely right. How do I predict hurricane season will be? All right, well, as far as predicting goes, I don't like predicting because people take the word predict and then they use it against you if you're not right. Now, my opinion, I kind of just touched on. Now, they do release charts on a yearly basis from the professional meteorologists at the NHC, National Hurricane Center, that give you a few numbers. They tell you how many tropical storms they think there's going to be, or how many minor hurricanes or major hurricanes. And I believe the number I saw for major was 4 to 6. Now, again, don't take that as 4 to 6 hurricanes are going to hit the U.S. It means that they are expecting 4 to 6 major hurricanes, basically something over category 3, whether that comes from the west coast of Africa or if they're coming up from the Gulf like Nate did. If you guys remember Hurricane Nate and even Hurricane Michael, which has been switched to category 5. And I spoke a lot about Hurricane Michael because my uncle actually passed away right before that hurricane hit. His name was Michael, and he lived in Florida with my grandma at the time. So that was just a very, very weird situation for me and Caroline. We had long talks about that. No, you cannot predict it. You are absolutely right. There are no predicting it. I see you, babe. Thank you. That's awesome. But I'm keeping you up too late. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was a year ago. I'm not going to say it was expected, but health issues, things of that nature. It was an unfortunate situation, but we all knew that he'd come back, and he did in a very fierce way. And believe it or not, that same year, last year, was Hurricane Joyce. That is the name of my aunt who also passed away. So I had them both in the same year. And my Aunt Joyce actually told me she was going to haunt me. As a joke, obviously, but she was that type of girl. She was amazing. I loved my Aunt Joyce. How far up the East Coast is this going? What are we speaking about? Are we talking about this current storm right here that's in Kansas, my friend? Mark O'Brien, I'm responding to you. That's the Yonkers, Smithtown, Smith blood. Ugh. My blood is on that bull, believe it or not. But that's for another story. All right, bud. Mark, I'm going to answer your question here. All right, so we're looking at Kansas right now. Like I said, this chart, I do like this chart more for hurricane season, but let's look at what's really going on, and that's this. So, yeah, this is not changing much. We get a new frame every 25 minutes, give or take, but this thing's only getting bigger. If you take a look at the screen, this happened over an 8-hour period. It started on the west coast of Kansas, and now 8 hours later, it is quadrupled in size, and now is covering more than half of Kansas plus other states. So just be aware. Stay on your toes. Make sure you have a plan if anything were to happen. Again, I'm not trying to tell people to go hide, but this is serious weather right here. You don't see these things often. Dark reds, dark burgundies, reds, or blacks rather, especially black. When you see black, that's that's as dark as it gets. That's basically strong hail, strong winds, lots of rain, dropping phones, flash flooding. We ain't in Kansas anymore. Haha, I love it. Will this storm hit West New York? Well, let's see. Let's check it. Western New York. It looks like it's going to come across, but it's going to be a rain event. It's not going to be one of these tornado makers. If you notice up in northern New York by Vermont and New Hampshire, you're actually seeing snow. So it's going to be a little too cold to see tornado activity, in my opinion. So Montreal's hydro, tons of houses are flooded. Eastern Ontario is flooded. Yeah, Canada is going through a very rough time right now. I've had a lot of people ask me to cover Canada, and I'm so sorry. I want to cover it. I will get to Canada. There's just been so much going on that I got to pick and choose my time wisely, at least for a little bit longer. It is getting warmer. It's getting easier to get out and get to the places I need to be to put these videos out. So trust me, things are going to be getting a lot better, a lot better. But yes, to answer your question, my friend, this thing will move into the Northeast and will bring some rain to this area for sure. The only thing I don't like is this blue stuff over top right by the Canadian border, just over the Great Lakes. And then, of course, you see this deep blue here? That's blizzard type stuff, but this is near Colorado, so it's expected. What we don't want to see is it come too much more east. Because if we move to the end of this chart, guys, you got to see it's May 15th. All that blue goes away. So we're going to be dealing with rain, but we are in a transition period between April and May. That's why you're seeing the severe yellows. You're seeing the blues here. Lots of low pressure systems. It's just a chaotic situation when we're switching from spring into summer or fall into spring. Both are very much similar. And then when we get to May 7th, I mean, look at this. If this was 500 miles south, this would be a nor'easter right over top of New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Connecticut, you name it. Weather is a ever-changing thing. A week ago, it was supposed to be completely drenched downpours on May 3rd, and now it's starting to break up, and it's looking like it's going to be a half-decent day. So that's why it's so hard to predict and or report on weather, because you got to do it on a daily basis for it to even make sense to some people. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to see before I let you go? I know it is 3:14 a.m. I'm going to get some sleep. I'm going to get some more videos out tomorrow. Let me see if I can get that back up there. There we go. Hey, just seeing this, just want to say great work. I'm happy to see your channel growing. Now we need a Nike name to call you. That's all up to you, Glory Keys. You make up the name and we'll run with it. Thank you, my friend. Frogger, appreciate it very much, buddy. Mark, same to you, dude. Nicole, God bless you as well. Where's my babe? They're the best to watch. They sure are. All right, guys. I think this is about it. I think we covered what we need to cover. Have a great one. You're awesome. No, you guys are awesome. This is why I do this, guys. Seriously, you have no idea. You guys keep me motivated. Caroline, you keep me motivated. There's a lot of competition out there, so you get discouraged sometimes. It's just, it's just like any other job. You gotta work hard at it, and you gotta be consistent, and you gotta be good to people, and you gotta not sensationalize things, and try to get people scared when they don't need to be scared. You just got to explain it in a way where they can be prepared. You know, it's all about being prepared. You don't want to be caught off guard with stuff like this, especially heading into hurricane season. And guys, we're not even through tornado season yet. Tornado season is just as dangerous as hurricane season. Glory Keys, that's what I like to hear, man. Seriously. That's why I love you guys. All right, for real, we're going on 40 minutes now. I hate to do it. I get stuck here. I'd love to sit here all night with you guys, and trust me, we're going to have plenty of those. So, but I'm going to cut this short because I think I've said that 8 times now, and it's going to start getting annoying. So, listen, every single one of you that are in here, thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry it's so late. I'm going to try to start doing these earlier. So, you know, those of you that get out of work at 5, 6, and 7, you guys get a chance to come on here and show your opinions and talk, and we can have conversations and stuff like that. And eventually, Caroline's not going to be able to do this herself as far as moderating, although she will tell you she can because she's a tough cookie. She'll handle every one of you. But I do have some people that are offering to help, and that is awesome. Very, very respected person I follow, Leak Project, has a great group of moderators, and one of them offered to help. So what I want to do first is talk with him specifically and make sure that he's okay with that. I believe it was True Helper that wants to help out, but I'm not trying to step on toes here. So I want to get in touch with Leak Project and make sure that that's okay with him, that he doesn't mind. Because I have a lot of respect for that guy. He does a lot for his channel. In fact, he's out traveling right now, spending all his own money. His van just broke down on the side of the road, literally 2 hours after talking about how he just got it all hooked up for his traveling office. And then it was an hour and a half later, he's on the side of the road. That poor guy. I had the same van, too. I own the same exact Astro van that he had. All right, we're going to hit play one more time. We're going to see how this formed, and we're going to say good night. And remember, guys, this is an 18 to 24 hour loop right here. So right there is where Kansas gets smoked. 8 hours nonstop. And now moving into Iowa. And that's about it. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. We'll be back shortly. Shortly as in tomorrow. It's already tomorrow. It's 3:18, but I'll be back around 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow, and we're going to continue this coverage and hopefully another good live stream. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Heading out. Have a great night. Bye-bye.